Question 1, sine t plus cos t the whole squared. So using the formula for a plus b the whole squared, which is a squared plus b squared plus 2ab, I can say that sine t plus cos t the whole squared would be sine squared t plus cos squared t plus 2 sine t times cos t. Now, sine squared t plus cos squared t would be 1 for any angle t, and 2 sine t cos t can be written as sine 2t, right? Because sine 2x is 2 sine x cos x. So sine t plus cos t whole squared simplifies to 1 plus sine 2t, option C. Question 2, if pi is less than theta is less than 2 pi, and cos theta is equal to cos 1, what is the value of theta? Okay, so let's first draw the trigonometric graph. So this is 0, this is pi by 2, this is pi, this is 3 pi by 2, and this is 2 pi. So theta lies between pi and 2 pi. Now cos theta is equal to cos 1. So if you are working with radians, then 1 radian will be in which quadrant? So pi by 2 is 3.14 by 2, which is 1.07, right? Is it 1.57. So therefore 1 would definitely be in the first quadrant, right? And in the first quadrant, if we go with ASTC, in the first quadrant, all the ratios, all trigonometric ratios are positive. So cos 1 is a positive number, right? Which means that if theta, cos theta is cos 1, then theta should be in the fourth quadrant, because in the fourth quadrant, between 3 pi by 2 and 2 pi, cos is positive. Because if it was in the third quadrant, then cos would be negative, and then cos theta can't be cos 1, right? So how do we find out the value of theta, which will be such that cos theta is cos 1? So let's say this is 1 radian. So then 2 pi minus 1 would be the same as cos 1, because cos of theta will be the same as cos of 2 pi minus theta, since we know that both of these would be of the same sign, positive. So therefore here the answer would be 2 pi minus 1. Cos of 2 pi minus 1 would be the same as cos of 1, option E. Question 3, a transport authority plans to construct a bridge between city A and city B. To determine the distance between the cities, a surveyor team uses the triangular region shown. What is the distance between city A and city B to the nearest tenth of a mile? So we are given two angles, so we can find the third angle, angle A. So 95 plus 50 is 145. So this angle would be 35, because the sum of angles should be 180, right? Now we need to find AB. So let's say AB is X. Then by using sine rule in this triangle, I can say that X by sine 95 should be 1.5 by sine 35, right? So I'm using this side and this angle, so the sine of 95, and this side and this angle A, sine of 35. So X would be sine of 95 degrees by sine of 35 degrees times 1.5. So this we can plug into the calculator. So this comes to 2.6 miles. So that would be option D. Question 4, which of the following is equivalent to tan square x minus sine square x? So I can write tan square x minus sine square x as tan square x minus cos square x into tan square x, because sine x is cos x into tan x. And from these two terms, I can take tan square x common. So I get 1 minus cos square x. And 1 minus cos square x is sine square x from the identity. So I get tan square x times sine square x. So tan square x minus sine square x will be tan square x times sine square x, option E. Question 5. Two people begin running at the same time, moving away from the same point. One person runs due east at a constant speed of 7 miles per hour. The other person runs 30 degrees west of north at a constant speed of 6.5 miles per hour. After how many hours are the two people 3 miles apart? So one person is running due east at 7 miles per hour. And if this is the north, then 30 degrees west of north, right? The other person is running in this direction at 6.5 miles per hour. So after how many hours are they 3 miles apart? So let's say that they are 3 miles apart after h hours, right? So this person has run 6.5h distance, and this person has run 7h distance. And this distance between their positions is 3. Now, this question is different from that earlier question about the bridge length, because here we are only given one angle, right? This is 90 plus 30, so this angle is 120. So when you're only given one angle and you have to work with the sides, you can use the cosine rule. So what is the cosine rule going to tell me? Cos of 120 will be 6.5h the whole squared plus 7h the whole squared minus 3 squared divided by 2 times 6.5h into 7h, right? And solving this, we can find the value of h. So let's just make some space for this. Now cos 120 will be minus cos 60. So that will be minus 1 by 2. And 6.5, the squared would be 42.25. So 42.25h squared plus 49h squared minus 9 and 13 into 7. So that's 91. So 91h squared. So let's solve further. So we get 91h squared by 2 with the minus sign is 49 plus 42. So that would be 91.25h squared minus 9, right? So this I can write as minus 45.5h squared is 91.25h squared minus 9. So if I add both of them, I'll get 0.75 and 136.75 h squared is 9. So h squared is 9 by 136.75. So on solving this, h comes to 0.257, right? So the two people would have to run for 0.257 hours for them to be 3 miles apart. Option C. Question 6. The Statue of Liberty is 46 meters tall and stands on a pedestal that is 47 meters above the ground. An observer is located d meters from the pedestal and is standing level with the base as shown in the figure. Which of the following expresses the angle theta in terms of d? So what is theta here? So let's say this big angle is alpha and this small angle is beta. So theta is alpha minus beta, right? And if I write tan alpha, then I can write tan alpha as 46 plus 47, which is 93 divided by d, because it will be opposite over base. And if I write tan beta, that would be 47 divided by d. So alpha can be written as tan inverse of 93 by d, and beta can be written as tan inverse of 47 by d. So theta would be arctan 93 by d minus arctan 47 by d, option E. Question 7. Let f be the function defined by fx is equal to 5 sine 2x plus 1 for x between 0 and pi. What is the slope of the line passing through the maximum and minimum points of the function on the interval? So let's first find the period of this function. So period would be 2 pi by 2 because the coefficient of x is 2. So that would be pi, right? So 0, pi by 2 and pi, right? So this is how the function would look. Okay. Now, this is just the graph of sine 2x. But I need the graph of 5 sine 2x. And 5 sine 2x would look like this. It would go to an amplitude of 5 on the positive side and negative 5 on the negative side. So this would be plus 5 and this would be minus 5, where this is 0, this is pi by 2 and this is pi. So this is the graph of 5 sine 2x. And now we need the graph of 5 sine 2x plus 1. So we will have to move this graph 1 unit up. So how will that look? So this is the line 1. I'll just clear this. So here my graph will start from this is how it would look. The maximum point will be at 6 and the minimum point will be at negative 4, right? Because I've shifted the whole graph 1 unit up. This is the x-axis and this is the y-axis. So we know that this point is 0. This point is pi by 2. And this point is pi, right? So what is the highest point of the graph? The highest point of the graph will be pi by 4, 6, because the x value at this point would be pi by 4, right between 0 and pi by 2. And what will be the lowest point? It would be 3 pi by 4, negative 4. Because the x value here would be 3 pi by 4. It would be right between pi by 2 and pi, right? So if that is the case, I know the coordinates of the highest point and the minimum point. So I can find the slope of the line. The slope would be y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. So that would be minus 4 minus 6 divided by 3 pi by 4 minus pi by 4. So that will be minus 10 divided by pi by 2. And that would simply be minus 20 by pi. Option A. So the slope of this line that joins the maximum and minimum points of this graph would be minus 20 by pi. Question 8. A portion of the graph of a function f is shown above. The domain of f is the set of all real numbers. Which of the following could be the equation of f? So here, the first thing that I notice is that the period is pi, right? So if the period is pi, and since pi is equal to 2 pi over b, where b is the coefficient of x, b needs to be 2. So the coefficient of x needs to be 2, which means that I can directly eliminate the first three options, because here the coefficient of x is 1/2, here it is 1, and here it is 3. So it can't be any of these. Now, between D and E, let's just work with these. So the first thing I notice is that the amplitude is 3 in both cases, which is correct because the maximum value is 3 and the minimum value is minus 3, right? So the amplitude bit is correct. Now, since sine is an odd function, I can write f of x 3 sine 2x minus pi as minus 3 sine pi minus 2x, because sine of negative a would be minus sine a, right? And we know that if you draw ASTC, 0, pi by 2, pi, 3 pi by 2, and 2 pi, you know that sine of pi minus 2x would be plus sine 2x, right? Because in the second quadrant, sine is positive. So this would be minus 3 sine 2x. And minus 3 sine 2x would simply be the graph of sine 2x, 3 sine 2x, reflected across the x-axis, right? So if this is 3 and this negative minimum is negative 3, then this is the graph of 3 sine 2x. And if I reflect it over the x-axis, I'll get the graph of minus 3 sine 2x. So that seems to be the right answer because this is simply a reflection of this graph over the x-axis. So my answer should be D. Okay, let's work with option E now. So in option E, I need to plot fx is 3 cos 2x minus pi by 2. Now, since cos is an even function, I can simply write this as 3 cos pi by 2 minus 2x. And cos pi by 2 minus 2x would be 3 sine 2x, because cos pi by 2 minus theta is sine theta. So 3 sine 2x will just look like this, what we drew earlier, where the maximum value is 3 and the minimum value is minus 3. So the answer graph is not the same as this. It's the negative of this graph because it's reflected on the x-axis. So the right answer is option D.